Are the console wars going too far? Will you be able to play Candy Crush at 4K and 60 FPS in the near future? And is there a new Xbox on the way? Let's discuss. So if you've opened Twitter or any social media in the past couple days, you will know that the console wars are on due to Sony's showcase and a couple of announcements regarding exclusives coming up for them. And what followed was a very civil, enlightened discussion between gamers. Just kidding, none of that happened. Basically, it was all fanboys on each side, just in their feelings, hurt, disappointed, lashing out at each other. It doesn't take a genius to figure out that more competition in the market yields a better product and better services for the consumer. That's all great. For example, Xbox, they started giving away free games with gold. Also, they came out with Game Pass. Over on PlayStation, they were like, how could we kind of match that? Let's, give away games with PS Plus and PS Now. Over on Sony's side, they were saying, hey, we're gonna develop all these IPs and have all these really awesome exclusives. And Xbox says, how can I get in on that? Let me buy a bunch of studios on my own and then try to see if we can do the same. That kind of competitiveness, that's good for us. That makes this period of time a really good time to be a gamer. You have Xbox, you have PlayStation, you have Nintendo, all of these companies trying to give better products and better services to get your money, and that's great. So in that way, I think competition between the consoles is good. I saw one Twitter user, it was just a random tweet saying, people saying that console wars are stupid, that's so soft this generation, it's just like rooting for your favorite sports team. And I think that's bizarre, because no one roots for their favorite corporation like they do a sports team. With a sports team, you can argue that there's some regional connection to it, some community, coming togetherness to root for your favorite local sports team, whatever. No one's gonna be like, oh, Nike has this exclusive deal with Spider-Man, rest in peace, every other clothing brand, shoe brand. No one does that. So to me, that was a little ridiculous. And like I said earlier, people are responding very emotionally, very irrationally, I would say, on both sides. There's been some really bad takes on both sides of the aisle, PlayStation and Xbox, since the Sony showcase. You got people over on PlayStation who were dogging on Xbox for, at Gamescom, showing a CGI trailer of Halo, which I agree with. That was not a great move for a game that you have no idea what the single player campaign is gonna be about. I did not like that. But then to turn around and say, oh, these trailers of Spider-Man and Wolverine, no gameplay, all CGI as well, are groundbreaking, they broke the internet, it's amazing. That's a little strange to me, guys. Suddenly people who were crying over Starfield and all future Bethesda titles being exclusive to Xbox saying, oh, it's bad for consumerism, it's bad for gamers, or turning around and saying, oh my god, Sony's amazing for lifting up Spider-Man, God of War, and all these other exclusive titles that they got coming. So a big thing as well that people were criticizing Xbox for was, oh, they're buying up all my beloved franchises, these beloved characters. They don't have that problem with Spider-Man. And well, that I understand because Sony owns the movie rights to Spider-Man. I get that. But where is that same energy when they buy up the rights to Wolverine, when Fox, now owned by Disney, owns that character? I don't want to see anyone complaining when Xbox comes out with an exclusive Indiana Jones game saying, oh my gosh, Xbox, how could they do this? They bought the rights to this beloved character. No. People are trying to pretend like Bethesda is suddenly this crappy game studio. We're talking about Bethesda, y'all, the guys who brought us Fallout, Elder Scrolls, Dishonored, Doom Eternal, one of the best shooters ever, and they just came out with Deathloop, which I get it, it's a timed exclusive for just PS players right now. Now we got people shifting the goalposts a little bit saying, well, Microsoft had nothing to do with Deathloop, and now that Xbox Studios has their hand on Arcane Studios, everything's gonna be crap now. Come on, y'all, no, I'm not following the logic here. We got people on Twitter using pre-alpha screenshots of Redfall saying, oh, look at how crappy the graphics are, when clearly it's pre-alpha. You can literally see some of the dev tools like spawn enemies and other things like that. Clearly it's not anywhere near finished, but people are willing to repost these screenshots to push this narrative that Xbox sucks, their games are gonna suck. If Starfield comes out next year and it's buggy like Cyberpunk, or it has no content like No Man's Sky, that's not gonna be a great look. So Xbox has a lot of work to do to show us and other fans of Xbox that they can handle these new titles and these new studios with care. And once they're out, support them in a way that makes them engaging and worthwhile for the consumers. Let's recognize that we live in a really awesome time for gaming. Let's keep these discussions chill about the games. We play these video games to escape from drama, to escape from the grind of everyday life. We don't want to make it a crazy, unwelcoming place and suddenly a place that's causing pain and attacking other people personally. Let's cut that out. And if you come around here with that console stuff, just know that I'm packing. Steel for humans. So with the rise of Xbox cloud gaming, we have a whole nother market that's popped up that makes controllers to basically make your phone a portable Xbox. So I haven't tried any of these yet, but the two main ones seem to be the Backbone and the Razer Kishi. And basically these controllers plug into your phone via the dongle port and basically make your phone a Nintendo Switch looking thing. So basically these controllers plug into your dongle port and turn your phone into a Nintendo Switch looking thing. They're a little bit more on the expensive side, the Backbone coming in at around $100, $99, plus tax it'll probably be $100, and the Razer Kishi coming in at around $80. Both of these require you to install software on your phone. It's an app that basically serves as a console home screen that allows you to switch between games and apps and different things like that. Reportedly, the Backbone one is way better than the Razer Kishi, although the controllers, it'll all work the same, so it's a matter of preference, really. Another option, of course, is to just straight up use an Xbox One controller or an Xbox Series controller to play your games. Obviously, there's no better way to play an Xbox game than with an Xbox controller. Obviously, it was originally designed with that purpose in mind, so hey, you can't really beat it when it comes to compatibility. So what people are recommending is that you take your controller and you go ahead and put a phone clip on it. Now what I recommend is the PowerMoga gaming clip. This is a clip that was designed specifically for the Xbox controller, so you know it's gonna be a good fit, you know it's gonna be stable. The only problem is that it puts your phone right above all the buttons on the controller, so it's probably gonna obscure your view a little bit, but if you've been playing for a long time, you have this stuff right up here. It's mapped out, ingrained in your memory, so I don't think that'll be a huge problem. Of course, Xbox controllers require AA batteries. So unless you have a charging pack, you're gonna have to have those batteries on standby. So even with the price considered, I would still probably go for either the Backbone or the Razer Kishi, probably the Backbone. I think it's really cool how compact these things can get. You can literally collapse them and just stick them in your backpack, stick them in your pocket, no problem. And you can also charge your phone at the same time while you're using your controller, so I think that's a huge plus as well. I just ran the numbers. My subscriber count is pitiful. So you better subscribe, or else. So Microsoft announced that Windows 11 is coming out in October, and unfortunately there's not going to be support for Android apps just yet. It's going to come a little bit later, but that also sparked a discussion saying, hey, Android apps might be coming to Xbox. Who doesn't want to play Raid Shadow Legends on their Xbox Series X? See? Hey, Raid. If you want an up-and-coming, handsome, charismatic YouTuber to do some ads and partner up with you, hit me up. I really don't know why you would want Android app support on your Xbox, but hey, it's coming, and if you're interested in it, that might be cool for you. Xbox also announced a new controller, the Aqua Shift, and this is something that I personally really like. I love the accessories that they come out with. I love the design lab, being able to create my own colors and controllers and things like that. I just think it's a really nice touch as far as personalization goes. You know, I always remember going over to my friend's house, and he had a red Xbox controller, and another friend of mine had a gold one. And we all knew, like, hey, Matt has the red, Dave has the gold, and it's just this little nice touch that builds your connection to your console and kind of adds your own personal flair. With this controller specifically, people are kind of wondering what this is about. So if you're familiar with the Series controllers, you'll know that the one little difference is that they have a share button in the middle now. They also have a texturized grip on the back, on the handles, on the bumpers, and this one, it takes a little bit further on the Aqua Shift. It has rubberized grips. Anyway, like I said, this controller looks gorgeous. It's a shade of blue that I didn't even know could exist. It's like a mix between purple and aqua, periwinkle, whatever. It's beautiful, I love it. Sony has had a pretty good week in terms of game announcements, but there's also some questionable stuff that they're doing, and I know this sounds a little weird. Hey, why is this guy talking about Sony on his Xbox channel? I promise, we'll get to that. So when they announced all the different editions of Horizon Forbidden West, there was a little bit of confusion, and this seems to be a theme when it comes to Sony, where people are confused about the upgrade path from the PS4 version to the PS5 version of the game. I'm a little late to the party on this, but the Horizon upgrade from the PS4 to the PS5 version is gonna be free. But going forward, to upgrade your PS4 version of the game to the PS5 version, it's gonna be $10, which when you compare it to Xbox, they have a thing called Smart Delivery, which automatically downloads the best version of the game no matter what. So if you're playing on Series X, it's gonna download the version that's best for that. If you're playing on Xbox One S, it's gonna download the version that is more compatible for that console, no matter what. You don't have to do anything else, you don't have to transfer over your saves, you don't have to question, like, am I playing the best version of the game? It just does it for you. The point here is that Smart Delivery is awesome. It should be the standard going forward for everyone. You don't have to transfer over your save like you would, say, with Avengers over on the PlayStation, or with Spider-Man even. But yeah, it's a cool feature, and I thought it was worth pointing out because I think this is an area where Xbox is outperforming PlayStation. So we got a new Xbox console coming out already. A lot of people don't even have the first one, but we got a new one coming out in 2022. The Xbox One S is getting a refresh to compete with the PS5 Slim. Why is Xbox focusing on the Series S? They're finding that people who buy the Xbox Series S are generally buying Xbox Game Pass. They're seeing higher attachment rates for Game Pass with the Series S. And right now, Xbox seems to be more concerned with boosting up Game Pass rather than pushing their hardware. That's interesting to me. This could be interesting because we've already seen people's willingness to throw out their cable box in favor for just getting content directly to their TV, whether that be Netflix, Hulu, HBO, any other streaming service. So I think it's an interesting move that could be really awesome for Xbox, or maybe it could not be. But it's something that keeps popping up. Back when everything was coming out about Starfield being exclusive to Xbox, I think it was Pete Hines that said, hey, I really like the way that Xbox is going right now. They're kind of thinking beyond the consoles, which again, doesn't make sense for us right now because, like I said, the console wars and people are really loyal to their consoles. But I think it's an interesting move, and it's definitely great being a consumer of video games, because guys, this stuff is getting expensive. You already got $70 games over on PlayStation's side. Over if you buy an Xbox, and the Series S, the refresh, is only reported to be about $350, which is the same price as a Switch OLED. And for $350, plus a subscription to Game Pass, you will be able to play every game that Xbox puts out, because they've already shown a willingness to put their exclusive titles, their flagship titles, on Game Pass. We know that Halo Infinite is coming to Game Pass day one, and it's probably gonna stay there because why not? We also know that the Series S is gonna have a little bit of an upgrade in terms of its specs. It's gonna feature a new APU, the 6nm instead of the 7, which will bring it more in line with the Xbox Series X. It's probably not gonna achieve 4K all the time like the Series X. It's probably gonna target more around 1440p consistently, but that's still a pretty decent jump from the 1080p that it targets on the Series S right now. When this comes out, the regular Series S, the prices are gonna go way down, maybe to like $200. And that's even crazier to think that you can buy an Xbox for $200 and then play all the exclusives that are coming out that I mentioned earlier in the video for pennies pretty much a year. It's crazy. I just think it's really cool that gaming is becoming more accessible. There's a lower point of entry for people who are interested in gaming. I think that's really awesome. And I think it's a little bit more realistic than this 8K PS5 that's coming out. I think this is, a little bit more reasonable. Anyway, thanks so much for tuning in, listening to my ramblings. Remember to subscribe and set your notifications to all, and we'll see you in the next one.